Do we have enough charge yet?
Almost there. Just a couple minutes more. When the outbreak started, there was a lot of confusion. Conflicting news reports, sloppy journalism, sometimes just outright false information. Eventually, it didn't really matter whether it was real or not. The panic was real enough, and that was deadly. Manufacturing shut down. People were without work, without income, without hope. Without manufacturing, the price of commodities dropped. But with no money, people couldn't afford to buy anything. They printed money, tons of it, and they distributed free checks to help stimulate spending. It seemed like a good idea at the time. By the time all of that free money worked its way through the economic system, inflation was so bad, you couldn't afford to buy bread.
Not that there was any bread to buy, at any price.
That old saying turned out to be true after all. You can't eat. Hello, good people. Hi, it's me, Jason from Green Country Agroforestry, everybody's favorite 6-foot tall, slightly overweight garden gnome. And I'm back here in the front yard again at the site of the potatoes that we planted a couple of weeks ago during our very first Can I Plant That episode. Well, today it's time for another Can I Plant That episode, and I figured I'd catch you up on how the potatoes are doing. Let me turn the camera around and show you what we got. Alright, so there he is, 1 potato, 2 potatoes, 3 potato, 4 potato, 5 potato. This one is pretty heavily frosted, but it is coming back. There's 6, and I did number 7 on camera. That's number 7 is coming up. That's the indeterminates. These are the determinates here. There's 1, 2. There's a little bit of a weed growing up here. 3 with some mushroom action. That's not mushrooms we planted. I'm not sure what variety those are. I'll have to look them up. 4, 5, and 6. There's 1 over here that has not come up yet. But I can disturb the covering a little bit. There's the eyes. There's some, oh, I just knocked one off. There's the greenery getting ready to pop up. This one's getting ready to go. Let's go back around to the back where the greenhouse is. We'll show you what we have for you today. Alright, good people. I am back with you again here in front of, or beside of, our tragically shredded greenhouse or high tunnel. Yeah, the hail did a number on it. I was worried about that. I always wanted to go with polycarbonate panels. I knew they were more expensive. I also knew they'd be resistant to hail damage. But hey, we got the use out of it for this year. I guess that's what counts. Today we're going to try some fennel, some celery, and what do I have here? Well, that is some seeds from a bell pepper, ripened all the way to redness, cut open and dried out on the paper towel. We'll see if we can get these guys to germinate. Alright, so I've got all that stuff here, and I have just little 2-inch pots. These are somewhat used. 2-inch pots and some pre-moistened starting mix. So let's go ahead and fill these with the starting mix. We've zoomed in pretty good. I've got a total of 3 sets of 8 for 24 pots filled up with potting soil. I want to start out with some celery. And this is just ordinary, got it from the grocery store. Well, it still has the seal on it. Never been used celery. Let me put this somewhere where it doesn't make a mess. Now, that seed is very, very fine, but it is whole. So hopefully, if I sprinkle a liberal sprinkling of it in here, something should get started. All I want to do with these little tiny 2-inch pots is just get it started. After we got a plant established, I can go ahead and get them relocated to a position outside. I just want to get these plants started at this point. If they can germinate, they can grow. Alright, I got celery there. On the far end, I'm going to put fennel seed. This is the stuff that, oh, also, unopened container. Look at that. I promise you I did not get this stuff just to do this video. I had it sitting around in the cabinet for a long time. I just finally got around to using it for something useful. Hey, it just happened to be this video. Fennel seed right there. There's some fennel. Fennel is the thing that makes Italian sausage taste like Italian sausage. It's also the thing that makes licorice taste like licorice. You could use anise or licorice root, but fennel is typically what is used whenever you go to the candy store and you get licorice. That's fennel flavoring that you're tasting. It's fennel and sugar and a bit of flour, actually. I happen to like licorice. I really like Italian sausage. That's good stuff. Alright. I have no idea how old these seeds are, whether they'll even germinate or not. So the only one that I do know for sure about how old it is this bell pepper, which I just opened up and used a couple of days ago. And the seeds have had time to dry out, so we're just going to put a few of them in the pot. Now, typically I'll put, even with seed that I'm sure about, I'll put 3 seeds down per location and then thin out as necessary. So these are going to go a little bit extra because I really don't know how well they're going to do. Still have plenty of seeds left over. Remember, the general rule is you want your planting depth to be about the width of the seed. So in the case of the celery, just really roughing up the surface so that they just get covered. That's all they need. They don't really need a whole lot of extra attention. Of course, if I was outside in the garden direct sowing, I'd just sprinkle them in and run a rake through it, or rub my hand over the surface more likely. Okay. I'm not seeing any obvious celery seeds on the surface there, so I think that's good. For the peppers, just going to push them in a little bit so we have good contact, and once again, just make sure they're covered. Alright, here we are. We're indoors. We got the grow lights on the tray with the plants. We've got our celery over here. And our fennel over here. Of course, the pepper's right down the middle. And all I got to do now is give these guys a little drink. Alright, now that our little plants have had their drink, I don't want them to get stressed out or evaporate too quickly, so remember this. Oh, that's the top. Oh, pretty lights. That's the top to the improvised seed starter tray that I threw together, was that a month or two ago? Yeah, unfortunately the bottom part of the tray is a casualty of this hailstorm. It did not survive. I didn't even notice it until earlier today. I was thinking about using that, but it's gone. Now, it's not a perfect fit, but having that cover over this tray should help to curb some excess evaporation. Let's let these things go, and in about a week or so we'll see if we have anything germinate. I'm really curious to see if these peppers here are going to germinate. If those peppers germinate, then that would be great. It'd be great if anything germinates in all actuality, because we just don't know how old this stuff is. If it's really old, it may not germinate. But there's no harm in trying. If that's all you've got to work with, you may as well try it. Well, good people, whew, that's all I've got for you today. As always, don't forget to give a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments down below, bang the notification bell. Whew, this is hard work. I will catch you next time. Do we have enough charge yet?